What's going on, everyone? It is the Black Prospector coming at you on the Prospector's Way. Okay, so, recently I was going back and forth with a couple of ladies, as well as even a couple of guys. Is that many times when women are about to go ahead and leave their marriage, they begin to get in shape. And they often do that in order to why they know what they want to present to the world. So you may be at home with that wife that is probably 50, 100, 150 pounds overweight. And all of a sudden she wants to go out and get that gym, that personal trainer. And it's not because she may just want to get with him or her, even. It may just be that she wants to get into shape because she knows who she wants to present out here to the world. And so what I did with this client, I said, here's what I want you to do. I want you right now to make a dating profile for yourself, but don't send it to anyone. Much in the same way that you probably did when you were 10, 12, 14 years old. And she started laughing. I said, I want you to put down there, this is what I want. I want this. I want this. But more importantly, now, I want you to write, who do you want to present to this world? Who do you want to present out here in this dating market? And men, this goes along to you as well as to the ladies. But of course, my content is mostly for guys. And I think guys do a horrible job at presenting themselves and getting themselves together for the dating market. First, we don't even begin to do it when we're 15, 16 years old, let alone when we're 36, 46, or 56 post divorce. A lot of people ask me, oh, well, when did you get into shape? You've probably always been in shape. But if you go to Black Prospector Conditioning, my main fitness channel, you'll see in videos with my journey, I did not get into the shape that I'm in today until I was 51 years old. That was when I finally, for the first time, saw my abs. I didn't even think it was possible. But I knew my marriage was over. And what kind of man did I want to present out here to the world? I wasn't, a big sloppy dad bod type. That wasn't me. I mean, men usually have a lot of leeway with that because, as we say, the more weight you gain, if your wallet is commiserate to that, you can get away with a whole lot. But the big problem for me is, where did I feel comfortable? If I'm going to be interested in women who are in shape, if I'm going to desire to have a woman that's about it in her business in terms of mentally fit, spiritually fit, and of course, physically fit, if all of those things are valuable to me, what am I presenting out here to the world with the ladies that I plan on running into? Thankfully, I've had a decent amount of success, but that success is only because of what I had to build. And this is the thing, even for you ladies that are, we'll say, over 40 years old. You're going to realize that when you were a young girl, you're going to realize that when you were 20 in college, you didn't have to build really anything for yourself. You can just go ahead and show your chest, show them that butt, show that butt and boobs. You can go on out here, and that enough was to get men to start hollering at you. But I always say, every woman knows when that time comes, usually about 29, 30, 31 years old, right when she wants to start settling down and having kids. She also realizes, I am no longer the most attractive woman in the room. Now this new 18, 19, or 20-year-old just walked in and all the guys' heads went like this, or I noticed my boyfriend head start doing that, or other guys that I was interested in are now looking at the corner of their eye at her. This is what Steph Curry's wife talked about and other celebrity wives talked about, where they realize that I'm not the it girl anymore. And women realize this. And ladies, that as you get older and you do pick up that baby weight that you never put down, even though that kid is probably about to start middle school, you do realize that you let yourself go and all the excuses go out the window because it might work with your husband. Because after all, he's supposed to love you for what's on the inside, not for what's on the outside. Which I always say, gee, how many people really feel loved and wanted if, baby, how do I look in these jeans? Baby, you look absolutely horrible. But I just want you to know it's really all about what's on the inside, not what I'm looking at on the outside, because I love you. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. You know that wouldn't be your reaction. But, gentlemen, what about you? Because, see, ladies will go ahead and try to invest in themselves and get themselves ready before they get out here in this dating market. But, gentlemen, what are you doing? How do you show up? What are you preparing for? And understand, I'm not coming from a position of simping. I'm not coming from a position of, oh, I got to be something that I'm not. But that's the problem. Who are you? What are you? What do you do? So I'm not talking about becoming fake. I'm talking about realizing who am I and who wants that. If you a dude that like to just go ahead and smoke and play video games all day, and that's what you plan on presenting to the world, then be happy with the results that you get with that. But if you a dude that you have standards, that you want a woman to look a certain way, then what are you presenting to her? If you are a dude that you say, hey, I want a woman that is kind of free spirit and she can go anywhere, but you haven't taken a vacation in 5, 10 years talking about I work too hard and I don't feel like going and I don't feel like flying and I hate driving. Because I'm gonna tell you, nearly every woman that you find on the dating app is going to say, I want to travel. I love going on vacations. That's why they take trips with their girls. They actually want a man to be able to travel with. Are you that guy? And I'm not saying, are you that guy because you have to meet her standards? I'm asking you, are you the guy that you want to be? See, so understanding what I'm saying is be the person that you claim that you want to be, gentlemen, on your dating profile. What are you writing? What are you expecting? I don't read dudes' profiles, so I really don't know. But I do know from the lady standpoint, most women out here are nowhere near in the position to be asking for what they want on their dating profiles. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. And thankfully, my lovely cousin recently made a point to me that there are women out there that are frustrated because when they were listening to Kevin Samuels, they were running into dudes that said, oh, I'm a high value man and I want a high value woman. But these dudes didn't have a car. And they didn't have a car because they live in San Francisco, Chicago, or New York. They didn't have a car because they didn't have any money. They didn't have a car because they weren't making any money. They did not live the life of a so-called high value man, whatever that was. I guess that was their phrase that they put on them, which means that really what she was saying is dudes out here that are just as delirious and delusional about their status as these women are. So men, my homework for you, write out what you really are or who you really are on that dating app and what you actually expect. And are the two compatible? If they are not, and if I'm talking to you, man, who you're thinking about getting divorced or you know that your marriage is about done and you're about to go ahead and hit these streets, then, sir, I am going to encourage you to get in shape, or if that's what you want to do. If you want to be 5'8", 280 pounds, and that's what you want to present to the world, then by all means do that, but accept the consequences. If you, by all means, want to still make minimum wage and hit the streets and you cool, then do that. But don't be hypocritical. Don't sit up there and go on a dating app or really even approaching. But I'm speaking specifically for y'all on the dating apps. Don't sit up there and expect the woman to be showing up with a nice fat paycheck while you are happy with your minimum wage job. I'm just going to say it may be kind of tough for you. You better be doing a whole lot more to make that gap differential, to go ahead and fill in that delta there. Don't you have the expectation that she's going to be a nice piece on your arm, some arm candy, when are you a nice status piece on her arm? When she takes you to the work functions and they say, oh, so, what about your boyfriend or what about your husband? Can she look at you and brag on you? Can she say, oh, I love this man. We go here, we go there. He does this for me. He does that for me. He treats me. Does she say, I happily submit to you? I happily submit to my man. And a lot of you guys are probably expecting a whole lot of submission. But the question is, all these fake doms, a lot of fake doms out here. I don't even want to go down that road on this particular video, but I may in the future. A lot of you fake doms out here, you doming based on what? What are you really dominating? How are you dominating? You may be able to dom for a couple of times when you first meet her and you're able to run that game online. But when you encounter that woman, the third, fourth, 10th time, are you still able to remain in that dominant position? Does she become more submissive to you? Because in your presence, she can actually relax into her femininity and be submissive to you. Or do you find that when you run into women initially, you're able to run that dom game, or I'm a dom, and she's like, oh, I've been looking for a dom because I'm a sub and I'm a switch, but I've been looking for a man that I can go ahead and really just show my submissive side. And you're able to have her doing homework, and you're able to talk about what you're going to do and blah, blah, blah. And then you meet her. Then she encounters you in real life. And she realizes really what a nice guy you are. And I mean a nice guy as not a good man, but I mean a nice guy as in no more Mr. Nice Guy, Dr. Robert Glover, which we should not be. And then she realizes, I can't submit to this dude. This dude is kind of just faking it. This isn't his persona. He's just running this game to chicks online. Because while it's one thing to be a dom in a dungeon, can I really follow this man outside the dungeon? And hey, maybe if that's where y'all do your role play, great. Stick with that. But a lot of you guys want the submission. And you know, I always got to go to the religious men out there. You want to be submission. You want it to be like Sarah, where she's calling you her Lord. But really, what about your status with her makes you deserve such submission? Man, I want you to look at your dating profile. Go look at what you're writing and ask yourself, is this what I'm presenting? Is this what I really deserve? One woman asked me about, what I was doing. She saw one of my fitness pictures. And I made the point to her that when I knew my marriage was over, I had to make sure that I was going to be that man spiritually, mentally, and physically for what I wanted to present. And even though I was over 50 years old, I went about building and creating that man. To when the ink was dry on them papers, I knew that really officially being out here, I was comfortable with what I was presenting. And probably the thing that I hear more than anything else is, wow, you seem to be really emotionally intelligent. You really know how to communicate what you want. You really seem to be determined about what you want, what you're after, and what you're going to settle for. And you know what? In the words of Shaft and Isaac Hayes, you're damn right. I don't have time to play. I'm over 50 years old. Time is short. I got one foot in the grave and another one in the banana peel. It's no time to play. No time to play. And it's not that I'm jaded or anything like that. I love women's. I'm good with that. But I know what I'm after. I know what I'm going to settle for, and I know what I'm not going to settle for. I know the type of cooperation I'm going to settle for, the type of cooperation I'm not going to settle for. And I'm cool. Shout out to Dr. BOA. It's my way or no way, and no way is okay. But it's not it's my way or no way in terms of being completely selfish. It's more of a case of this is the direction I'm going. If you want to hop in the car and go with me, and if you watch my other videos on rides my dad had, I love taking trips. And hey, I love to have my girl with me on my trips. But if she doesn't want to go in the same direction, I'm going without her. And that is really how my entire life is now. That's the great part about not having to live up to a standard by the pastor at a church or by the standard of, the old folks that's been married for 60 years and hate each other. It's my standard. It's the prospector's way. It's my own option because I'm my own man. And being my own man, I'm able to go ahead and say, this is what I want. This is what I'm interested in. Are you? And if so, then hop on in. In the words of Huey Lewis, give me the keys, and I'll drive you crazy. That's trying to keep it simple for you guys. But this is a little bit one for you ladies as well. I think both men and women need to look at what they're presenting to the world and ask themselves, what am I presenting? And do I deserve to have the expectations that I have for what I'm putting out here? It's not that you're doing it for someone else. It's really called the fact that we don't go buy something with no money in our pocket. No one goes to buy a house, but they have bad credit because they can at least realize, well, I don't deserve to get this house because I got jacked up credit. And that's how many of us are with our dating profiles. We got that online life. But when it's time to go to the bank and it's time to go ahead and get that social number to find out really what your credit score is for what you can afford, there's a whole lot of people out here trying to buy a $750,000 or $1 million house with a 560 credit score. That's what they're taking to the table. Everybody want to talk about that table? Folks can't even get there. They're getting laughed out the bank. And you guys know what I mean. I'm sure you ladies do as well. Where you look and you may read a profile and you look at those pictures, good luck with that one. That's all you can say. And I kind of laugh at it and I just let people go their way. Anyway, that's the message for today. That's the prospector's way. What's yours? Let me know below.